I'm gonna show you guys Knock, the plugin. Here it is. I wanna load up a break, something different than the promo videos. Okay, this is a break from AJ Hall. I'm just gonna show you what this can do and how you can use this plugin. So this is before any processing, and that's after processing. You can also gain match. I did a video demonstration about this, and some people wanted to hear what it sounded like. So the gain match on the plugin, it links to the clipper, so as you turn up the clipper, it actually turns down the volume of the signal. But one thing that I didn't express is that the saturate feature has built-in gain match. So as you turn up saturate, it's gonna automatically gain match the signal. And if you add gain match here, it'll link up with the clipper. See, the more I turn this up, it just gets quieter. So it maintains more of a perceived loudness. With gain match on, let's hear the before and after. So this is the before, and that's after. And that's level matched. So you can hear this thing is just a sound design beast. When I work, I normally work into the ceiling. However your workflow goes, there's so much you can do with this. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the EQ. There's a low pass filter and a high pass filter, and all of this is post effects. And the reason why I designed this to be post effects is because, for example, say you have sub and you're adding sub to the kick drum. You can actually cut some of the sub here, and it sounds super clean. I want to talk about sub, because this feature is really special. What it does, if you have a breakbeat, it detects every time the kick drum hits based on frequency, and there's a built-in sub-oscillator where it layers the sub on top of the kick to give it that thump. I love the sub feature. Punch is adding attack to your sound, so it's finding the transients and adding attack. Saturate is adding saturation, but as you turn it up, listen, the level's not getting louder. It's actually getting quieter to match perceived loudness. Because if we look at the fader right here, watch as I turn it up. It sounds louder, but it's getting quieter because it's all messing with perceived loudness. That's built in. Gain match is automatic in the saturate of this plugin. Sub, if you listen to the drums, I'm gonna turn the decay up. Every time the kick hits, an 808 oscillator is gonna be layered on top of the kick. So you have an 808. And if I turn the decay down, it adds thump to your drums. So this is a must-have for breakbeats. If you do anything with breakbeats, you need sub. I've never heard anything like it. Then you got air, which is top end. So there's two types, is vintage and clean. That's vintage, and that's clean. You can hear if clean just has a sheen to it. Of course, I wouldn't add that much normally. It's probably my favorite sounding top end. It just sounds so clean. When you add air mixed with the low pass filter, that's where you can get that real grimy sound. So if you're doing some lo-fi shit, play with the filter with the air and the clip. And then punch adds that smack. You can go crazy with the saturate or just a little bit. And if you want to cut some of the lows, you know what I'm saying? It just sounds real good. Then you got a dry wet. So this is the dry breakbeat. And then you got wet. And these are actually the same exact volume, but if you want to get the perceived loudness, turn on gain match. And you can do a mixture of both of them. Another thing is I've included factory presets that I've created from scratch. We have a few different breakbeat presets. Let's try some of them. Let's try the dirty one. DECAP, breakbeat dirty. Breakbeat hard. And then you obviously adjust them because this one, you don't need as much high end. So you can either cut it with the filter or just bring down the air. Lo-fi breakbeat. Slapping. This is one plugin, and the main thing is it sounds really good because I calibrated it. I made sure it was exactly how I wanted it to sound, and I made sure that the final is exactly on, because it needs to. When you're dealing with drums and sound design, if it ain't hitting how it's supposed to, it's not acceptable. I had very specific requirements for how the clipper would sound, how the air would sound. The sub, it needed to be calibrated perfectly to hit right. First couple versions we did just weren't really it, and then we worked and finally got it to exactly where it needed to be. Same with saturate. I didn't even show you, we have 3 different modes of saturation on the plugin. You see these 3 buttons here? These are the 3 different modes, soft, medium, and hard. Again, it's just different types of tone. It absolutely just needed to be exactly right. We worked hard to get it there. It's not only easy and an all-in-one plugin, but everything is calibrated to the highest level. The way that we calibrated it is done with precision because I know exactly how I wanted it to sound. And Tommy Stills, looks sick. What does punch do exactly? So what punch does is when you send sound through it, it can detect transients. As you turn up punch, it's going to add attack to the transients. If you run a kick drum through it, it's going to give you more attack on your kick and more punchy kick. Same with snare and same with hi-hats. If you were to put this on a drum bus, everything is going to sound more punchy. I wanted to make one plugin with all of the features we use for drums. So it pretty much has everything you need to get to dial in the tone that you want. DECAP.